Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. In this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about UV package, which makes your life very simple in terms of handling the Python version, Python packages version, or if you are going to create a virtual environment or you are managing the whole project of Python. Okay, so UV will help you in terms of managing these kind of tasks. And keep in mind, you can do everything whatever the pip does and the more than that. Okay, so let's discuss what we can do with the help of UV and what is the agenda of today's session. So guys, first of all, we will be discuss of installing the UV, right? And I will be explain the difference between UV and the pip. Additionally, I will explain what is the issue with the pip, right? So that you can understand why the UV package is better as compare of pip. Additionally, we will be discuss the basic project and the package management. I will tell you how you can create a virtual environment with UV and Python version management. And I will show you what are the advanced features we have in the UV. And I will give you the real world example in order to understanding the UV package from the scratch. Interesting? So let's discuss what is the UV. So guys, the very first point here, UV is an extremely fast Python package installer and resolver. It is created by the Astral team, okay, the same team which is created the Rust programming, okay, and it is written in the Rust programming for maximize the performance. All right, and here guys, the very important part, UV is the replacement, completely replacement of pip tools and the virtual environment. So UV can install the packages 10 to 100x faster than pip, okay, and you can easily manage the virtual environment without extra tool. All right, now let's go through the official page of the UV, right? So guys, this is the official web page of UV, okay, where you can see here UV is an extremely fast Python package and the project manager written in Rust, and you can see the comparison between UV and different tools, right, when you are going to install your dependencies and all. And these are the main highlight: a single tool which is replace pip tools, pipx, poetry, PyEnvironment, and more. 10 to 100x faster than pip, and it is provide the comprehensive project management, okay, and with a universal log file. I will discuss this particular part later in the video. And apart from that, you can easily run the script, you can easily manage and install the Python version, okay, and there are a lot of things you can do. Interesting. And now the installation. So installation is also very easy. Let's go to the VS Code and try to use UV from the scratch. So guys, before utilizing the UV, let's understand what is the issue with the pip. Okay, so you are aware pip is a popular tool, okay, which is used to install and manage the Python packages. Okay, but the pip faces two main challenges. Number one, the speed issue. Okay, so many developers find pip installation performs very slow, specifically for the larger project with many dependencies. And the another problem with the pip is that it does not always match the right packages, okay, when you are trying to set up a Python project. All right, so this can make it hard to recreate the same environment later, right, which means your code might not run the same way every time, and sometimes it is unreliable. Okay, but these particular problem is resolved by the UV completely. Okay, so if you are utilizing the pip, so first of all you need to install pip install UV. Very simple and very straightforward. Okay, and if you want to check what version I am using of a UV, so simple version. So here I am using UV 0.8.11. Okay, and if you are using the conda also, so using the conda also, you can install the UV and all. Okay, and remember one thing, once you install the UV, right, so UV automatically add itself to your path. Okay, so you can use it immediately after the installation. So now I want to initialize a particular project. So what I will do, so UV init, and here I am saying UV tutorial. Simple. I can open that particular folder. Interesting. So guys, once you initialize a particular project or a specific folder, so inside that particular folder, you will see there are a couple of files. It is automatically created once you run the command UV init. Okay. So for an example, let's say if I'm going to delete this particular, all the files from here, right? Like this. Let me delete. Okay. Now you can see I have a UV tutorial folder. Okay. So once again, if I am writing UV init, and here I am not going to provide a folder name. So once again, all the file will be created like a Python version. Okay. The main.py, the toml file. Okay. And the readme file. And here in the pyproject.toml file where you will have the metadata of your project. Okay, so for an example, what is the name of the project, version, description, your readme, and which version of Python you are using. Now, so guys, right now if you want to install any particular package, okay, so there are two ways. So you can write uv pip install and the package name, or you can write uv add, let's say pandas. So once you write uv add pandas, let's see what will happen. So guys, you will notice when I utilize UV add pandas, automatically the virtual environment has been created, and that particular part is also added in the dependency, which means whatever the library you are going to install, that library and its version will be added automatically in the dependencies. Interesting. But if you are using here UV pip install, let's say request, so you can see it is installed, but it will not add it here. Okay, so this thing you need to keep in mind. So if you want to add all your libraries, so you need to use UV add request like this. So you can see the request also added here. You got my point, what I'm trying to say? Okay, so if you are using UV pip install, so it will be install the library in the same virtual environment, but it will not be add in your dependencies. Okay, so if you want to add your library in the dependency, so you need to use UV add and your package name. All right. Now the very first query is, how do you check which Python version you can install using the UV? Okay, so you can use a command UV Python list, right, to see all available Python version. So guys, you can see here I have, these are the Python version, okay, which is installed in my system, okay, in the green lines, right? So whatever the green lines you are able to see, those version I have already installed in my system. Okay, so still if you want to install any specific version, so what need to do is, so UV Python install, and let's say if I want to install 3.11, so you can write here 3.11. Okay guys, so it is done. Similarly, if you want to install multiple version in the same time, so simple, you can write here the same command, and here let's say 3.11 or maybe 3.13 like this. Here we go. Interesting. Now let me clear the terminal. And guys, similarly, if you want to find out the specific Python version, right? So you can write here UV Python find, and you can write the version name, which is 3.13. Okay. So this is the particular path where I have installed this version. All right. And sometime if you are going to run your script in a specific Python version, let's say if I want to run this particular function. Okay. So what I will do, so UV run. Okay. If I'm writing, let's say main.py, then this particular main.py file will run based on this version. Okay. Simple. But in some cases, if you want to run on a specific version like Python 3.8 main.py, okay, so what will happen internally? So first of all, it will be install 3.8, then it will run this particular command, right? But right now, this is incompatible, okay? So what need to do is, let me install, let's say 3.12 main.py. Here we go. I think it is already installed. If it is not installed, then it will be install that particular Python version, then your program will be executed. Very straightforward. Okay, you got my point? Now guys, let's discuss the package management during the script execution. What it means, let's say, how can I run a script with a package that is not installed on my machine. So which means you can install the packages while running your script. Example, let's say here I am using a particular package, let's say import sketch. So this particular package not available. So what can I do here? So I can write uv run, okay, with sketch main.py. Simple. You can see. Yeah. So that package has been installed and I'm getting the output. Okay. But that dependency will not be added here. So I have run with the help of sketch, but it is not going to add here. If you want, right? So simple uv add script main.py, or maybe let's say I want to add for an example sketch, okay, or maybe numpy, just an example. Okay, now let me activate the version first. Okay. Okay, I think we need to write uv add numpy, then it will be add. Yeah, only that way you can add that, right? Okay guys, now let's focus on the project creation and the management. Okay, so how do you create a Python project with uv? Okay, so first of all, simple, when I run the uv init, right? Or you can supply the particular, so you can supply the folder name. That folder will be your Python project. For an example, if I want test here, so you can see here inside the uv tutorial I have created another folder. Okay, and in this particular folder also I have the same file, whatever the file I have here. Interesting. And you need to keep in mind this pyproject.toml file. Okay, it is just equivalent to your requirement.txt file. Okay, but it is more comprehensive as compare of requirement.txt. Similarly, how can I remove a package? Okay, so if I'm adding a package with the help of uv add, so how can I remove a package? So simple uv remove pandas. So that's how I can remove. Interesting. And guys, here you will notice I have a file uv.log file. Okay. So what is the uv.log file and why it is useful? So when you are going to install all the dependency listed in your pyproject.toml file, okay, or you can say that it is a file just like a requirement.log file, okay. So it will create and update a virtual environment automatically, okay, from the log file. Keeps the environment synchronized with the log file, so everyone on the team has exactly the same version, whatever the version you are using, okay. And which means your environment is reproducible, okay. So what is the meaning? So uv, right, which is creating your log file, okay. So your log file will have the exact version of your Python packages, okay. And it is guarantee that every developer and the CI system install the same dependency, whatever the dependency we are using for this particular project. And additionally, it will manage the virtual environment automatically, okay. So no need to run manually like python mvnv and the virtual environment name, or you need to activate. So once you write, let's say uv synchronize, it will create and links a virtual environment automatically. For your information, let's say I am going to delete the virtual environment, right? If I am going to write here uv sync, try to understand what will happen internally. As I just mentioned, it will be install all the packages, okay, from the uv lock, okay, whatever you have in the pyproject.toml file. Additionally, it will be create a virtual environment. So simple, you can see here. And my virtual environment also selected automatically. You got my point? Yeah. Now, let's say I have a requirement.txt file. Okay. Let me place here. Okay. Sometimes people are working on requirement.txt file. In this requirement.txt file, I have around 100 Python packages. Okay. So if you want to install those particular packages, so what need to do is in your virtual environment, right? So uv pip install, same command, right? Whatever the command you are writing when you are utilizing the pip. Simple. Is done in just 1 second. Okay. Interesting. But the same command you are using with the help of pip, okay, for installing all the packages which are reside in the requirement.txt, or you are creating a virtual environment, so it is taking longer time. Yeah. So simple, you need to run UV sync and that job has been done automatically. Okay. So now sometimes people are asking, can I still use pip command with UV? Answer is yes. If you want to use the pip command, right? So you can use UV pip. Okay. This is for pip compatible commands. Okay. And guys, similarly, sometime, let's say people are producing the wheel file for the distribution. Okay. So if you want to create a wheel file, right, which is pre-built package, or you can say that fast installation. Okay. Or maybe if you are going to create a .gz file, which is your source code packages file, right? So simple, you can go with UV build. Here we go. Okay. So you can see I have created this dist file. Okay. And this .gz file. Yeah. Now let me show you. Here you can see. All right. Now, in case, let's say, if you want to create a virtual environment stand alone, okay, so what should you do? Let me tell you. Yeah, let me clear. So simple, you can write here, as I just mentioned, UVVENV. Okay. Or if you are going to supply your project as well, let's say my project. Okay. If you are maybe in a specific directory and inside that directory you want to create a particular project, so simple, you can write here UVVENV my project. Okay. So it will create a your project directory, and inside this, right, you will have your virtual environment and you can activate that if you want. Interesting. Now let me give you the as I just mentioned, the real life example. So what I am doing here, so first of all, I am going to write here UV in it, and I am going to create for data analysis. So here we go. Okay, so data analysis folder is created. Okay, and now what I want, I am going to write here CD. Okay, CD data analysis here. Yeah. Now I want to analyze the data. Okay, so let me take any sample data here and let me paste the data. Okay, so this is the data, guys, I have. Now what I am doing, first of all, I am going to install the Python package. So I want UV add, let's say pandas, numpy, matplotlib, cbon, okay, or maybe let's say openpyxl. Here we go. You can click yes. So in the project.toml file, you can see all the dependency, right? So now you can activate your virtual environment as well. So simple source, you can write here .venv and bin and activate. Although no need to keep this command in your mind, right? Because when you are going to create a virtual environment, automatically UV is suggesting this particular line of statement. Now, let's say if I want to write some basic code here, okay? So maybe what I am doing here, let's say import pandas as pd, which I have already installed, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and similarly, let me import the cbon as well, right? Just basic example I am giving. So now I want to load my data set. Okay. So here data.csv, and right now I want to print df.describe, and similarly let's create a very basic visualization. Okay, so maybe the fig size equal to 10 by 6, and here cbon.histplot and df and the segment like this. Okay, and plt.show. So I have done this code. Now if I want to run a particular script, how can I run the script? So simple uv run. Okay, and you can define the file name, which is main.py. Okay, let me keep this particular file here. Right, now let me run once again. Okay guys, so I need to supply the encoding here, which is ISO 8859 and 1. Now let me run this again. So here you can see. Yeah, interesting. So guys, you can see here what is the UV log file and why it is useful. As I just mentioned, UV log contains all the precise version of all your dependency. Okay. And why I'm saying this is the team consistency. So everyone run only this command, right? UV sync. Okay. All the person will get the identical environment, whatever the environment you are using. Okay, very fast installation. Okay, so UV does not need to resolve dependency again, just install from the log file. Okay, so the what is the log file? So the log file essentially act like a snapshot of your dependency tree that ensure everyone get exactly the same version. Okay, very straightforward. And guys, focus here. What is the comparison between UV and pip? So these are the features. Speed is very massive, dependency slow, accurate very significant, parallel downloads limited, full parallel major, cache efficiency basic and advanced here. Okay, memory uses higher and here very lower. Very interesting part. Okay, and these are the command. Okay, sometimes people are asking what is the difference between pip command and the UV command. No major difference. Pip install, UV pip install. Pip install -r requirement.txt, simple, you can put only the UV. You can create a virtual environment using the pip command like this, but using the UV, very, very faster. Pip freeze requirement.txt, you can write here UV pip freeze requirement.txt. Okay. If you want to compile the requirements, pip tools compile and simple UV pip compile project toml file. If you want to upgrade any particular package, so pip install upgrade package and pip install upgrade package, same syntax. I hope you understood everything about the UV. Okay, so what is the next step you can do? So you can install the UV on your system. You can try it with your existing project, or you can start using UV for new project as well. You can explore some advanced features like a log file. You can read the official documentation from the doc.estrel. Okay. Additionally, guys, I am giving you a particular PDF. Okay. So this particular PDF will help you in terms of understanding the UV, and here you can find almost all the commands. Okay, so you can go through this particular PDF. So for an example, what is the UV here? Okay, what is the key features? Okay, similarly, how you can integrate it with workflow commands, right? Whatever the command we have used. Okay, why we use UVs for the speed and efficiency, simplicity and convenience, okay, reliability, right? There are a lot of things. Difference between UV versus traditional tool, just like a pip. Okay, so I will share this particular PDF with you. You can try in your system. Okay, and guys, if you found any issue, any challenge when you are using the UV, please let me know. All right, and for now, thanks for watching and have a great day.